Hello and welcome to the second session on PowerShell. My name is Lakshmi Narayan. Today I'll be covering helper commandlets in PowerShell and aliases. Let's start. The first command we are going to look at is the get command. Get command is used to search PowerShell sessions or PowerShell modules for any commandlets. So PowerShell modules are collection of commandlets and functions which can be imported and used in PowerShell console or in any PowerShell script. For example, the modules are like VMware module, which provides you the commandlets related to VMware operations, or maybe configuration management module provides you commandlets related to configuration management tasks like package deployment, task sequence deployment, getting information about task sequences, or maybe Active Directory module. So let's see how we can use get command. We can type get command and pass it a wildcard character like star and type the name of the or a word in the commandlet that you want to search. For example, I'm looking for some command that is going to give me information about the processes that are running on my computer. So if I run this command, I get a list of commands, and what exactly I'm looking for is the get process command. Using this command, I can find information about the processes running on the computer. Similarly, you can search for other commands. For example, if you want to find commands, if there are any commands that contain the word HTML, we can use HTML, and you can see there is a PowerShell commandlet. The command type is commandlet, and the name of the commandlet is convert to HTML. The next command we are going to look at is the get help command. So the get help command can be used to find help information related to a specific commandlet. Let's see how we can use the get help command. So you have to use the syntax get help and then the parameter name, and you can type a command name regarding which you want the help information to be displayed. So let me find some information regarding the get process commandlet. So if I type get help and name as get process, then it provides me the help information related to the get process commandlet. Okay, now how do we understand this help information? So first we have a section called as name. So it's nothing but the name of the commandlet. And then we have a synopsis, that is a short description of the commandlet. It says gets the processes that are running on the local computer or a remote computer. Then we have the syntax of the commandlet. So the syntax, how to read the syntax. So first we have the commandlet name, then we have a square bracket, then again a square bracket, and then hyphen name, and then a square bracket, and then we have something called as string. So how do we read this? So the first, so wherever we see the square brackets at the beginning or at the end, that indicates that these parameters are optional. So here we can see I have passed the parameter name, but it is an optional parameter. That means we don't have to pass this, and directly this commandlet will retrieve the results. So we can directly run the get help commandlet, or we can remove this hyphen name and directly type get process. Still it will retrieve the results. Then we have something called as a string here, and then we have two opening and closing square brackets. This indicates the type of the argument that we are going to pass to this particular commandlet, this particular parameter. So this accepts a string. A string is nothing but a set of characters. As we can see here, these are alphabetical characters which are considered as string in PowerShell. We will see about data types in upcoming chapters. As of now, you can just understand that this is the type of the parameter that we are going to pass. And then we have a square bracket, opening and closing square bracket. This indicates that it accepts multiple strings. So for the get process commandlet, we can pass a parameter name and it can accept multiple strings. So how to use this commandlet? Let's see, get process. So the name of the process, I can pass some name of the process just to understand what names I can pass. Let me see, let me take this name and I will take one more name and then I will run the command get process name. So it retrieves information about two processes which are running on my computer. So that's how we read the help information. And again, we have a second parameter that we can pass to this commandlet, that is the computer name. So whenever we see a computer name parameter, that means it can connect to a remote computer and it can pull the information from the remote computer. Same way we can pass multiple computer names because it supports a string array. So we can pass an array of computer names which are basically strings, and we can retrieve information from multiple computers. Again, this is in square bracket, that's why it is an optional argument. Without providing this parameter or argument also, we can run this command. And here we can see, we see only very few information about this commandlet. There are some more information that we can retrieve using the get help commandlet. We can use the option like full. It provides us the full information about the commandlet get process. It's a huge list and it we can read it and understand um, how to run this commandlet. So now here we can see the description has been added when we run it using the full parameter. So it provides us a detailed description about this commandlet. Then we have something called as parameters. This gives us the information regarding the parameters that we can pass to this commandlet. What exactly is a computer name and how to pass it. All the information is available here. Specifies the computers for which this commandlet gets active processes. The default is the local computer. So if we don't pass anything to this parameter, that means it's going to pull the information from the local computer, type the NetBIOS name or an IP address or fully FQDN of one or more computers. To specify the local computer, type the computer name a dot or local host. So we can also run it using the computer name parameter by providing our local computer name, or we can just put a dot, or we can type localhost. We can also retrieve the examples using this particular option, that is we have to provide the parameter examples. When we run it using the examples parameter, it gives us the examples. We have to see here, we have example 1. You can run the command like this, and then example 2, we can run the command and pipe it to where object. We will see what is where object in the upcoming lessons, and also we can store the information retrieved to a variable $a. and also they are formatting the output using format table. Similar way, we will see quite a lot of examples available here. Depending on the scenario, we can use the examples switch, and we can retrieve the examples whenever we want to see how to use a particular commandlet. And there is one more useful feature that we can use is show window. If we run this, I have to remove the full parameter to run the show window. It will display as a GUI in which we have the option to search, and we can look for particular. For example, I can type example and it says it has found 12 matches, and if I scroll down we can see the examples available here. So this can be done using get help and the commandlet name and show window switch. So this is how we can retrieve information about commandlets. We don't have to memorize what is the name of the commandlet, what are the parameters supported by the commandlet, or whether it supports pipeline, etc. Because we can use get help and we can find information about this. Then the next command we have is get member command. Get member helps us to get information about the skeleton of an object, the type of the object, and the members of an object. This information will be displayed to us when we run the command get member. So we can use it to find all the properties of an object. It can find all the methods that are supported by an object. Properties are nothing but some information that is available in the output of a particular commandlet. For example, when we run get process commandlet, the resulting object will have the name of the process, display name of the process, state of the process, and other information, and also what are the methods supported by an object. For example, the process commandlet might support the stop method or a restart method or a pause method. So let's see an example for get process. Let's run the get process and I'm going to pipe it to get member. First we can see the type name that says that what is the type of the object that is returned by this particular commandlet. Basically it returns us the list of all processes. So the type is system diagnostics process. Details about the object, the name of the properties is like handles, that is an alias property. Then we have name, that is again an alias property, and definition is process name. So name is an alias name for the process name. So it is the short name of the process. Then we have some methods, begin error read line, close the process, that is a method, and then we have other methods like kill, used to stop the process or kill the process. Then we have refresh, or we have start option to start the process. Then we have other properties that are available with this process object. So this is how we can retrieve information about the objects. So let's see, there's one more option to get the information, that is using get process, and we have to pipe it to select object. Select is nothing but select object command, and we use select star, but it is going to retrieve all the processes, but I'm going to limit it to only one process using select first one. So all the properties uh, are displayed to our screen. When we are running it normally, let me show you how it works. When I run it normally using the get process and select first one, it gives me a tabular format and it provides me only very few properties. If we count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 properties are available. But if I use select object star, it gives me all the properties displayed in list format, and we can see there are more properties which are actually hidden in the original output of the commandlet. This is how PowerShell is designed. By default, it will output only some particular properties which are configured in some view XML files, which can be we can look at them later during the session, or you can Google and find more information about how PowerShell displays output to the screen by default. So if we use select object star, we can see all the properties. Similarly, without looking at the properties, we can use get member to see what are all the properties and methods available in that particular object. So we can use these properties when we are writing the scripts. We may not see them by running the command, uh, but if we use the get member command, we can see what are all the properties available for an object. So get member is a commandlet that is used very often in PowerShell, and you have to develop a habit of using get member commandlet to find the hidden members. When I say members, it's nothing but properties, methods, or events of an object. So I'm going to run a command get content, and I'm trying to read the contents of a text file. And the contents are some text. Now let's see what is the available properties for this particular object. So the object returned is of type system string, because there is only one line of character, so it is automatically treating it as string. So this is a system provided type. So we have all the standard methods and properties supported by a string object. Let's try that on get child item. So I have two directories in this parent directory, so I will try to run the get member commandlet, and we can see the type is it's a directory info, and there are quite a lot of properties and methods supported by this. So the member type code property. Code property means there is some code in the backend which is running in order to get this property. So we can see the code is very simple here, that is get link type. So this is the code, and the value which will be there in the link type is the output of this particular code. Similarly, we have one more code property, that is get mode. There might be some useful properties like name, then the parent, which is the parent directory of this particular parent, and which is the root of this particular directory, and what is the base name. You can access this object and you can see what are the, and then we have full name, that is the path of the directory. So let me use it like this: select name parent root. So we get this information. Name is test and parent is this directory, and root is C drive. Okay, that's about the helper commandlets. And also you can use get type to get the type of an object. For that, I'm going to store $a is a variable. I'm going to store the output of get child item in variable a, and I'm going to use get type. So it will retrieve the type of the object that was output from get child item commandlet, that is $a. So it says it's an object of an it's an array of objects, and base type is system array. It has two items, so let's see what is the type of the first item. A of 0, I am accessing the first directory in this list. There are two directories, so one is test and another one is test2. So $A of 0 represents the first item in the array. So you can see the name of this type is directory info and the base type is IO file system info. So this is how we can retrieve information about objects. This snippet is also very useful to identify the type of a particular object which can be used during scripting. So the next concept we are going to look at is aliases. So aliases are nothing but an alternate or short name given to commandlets. For example, you might have seen me typing cls to clear the screen. So that is an alias commandlet. So let's see. So we can use the command Get-Alias to list out all the aliases that are available in this particular session. So we can see here cls is there, that is clear host. So we can use get command option to find out about the command. For example, if you are seeing an alias that is being typed but you don't know what is the actual name, then you can type get command and find the real name of real or the full commandlet name. The full commandlet for CLS is clear host. The result will be the same if I type CLS and also if I type clear host, but CLS is easier to type. Same way we have dir, that is an alias. Command type is an alias, that is alias for get child item. Similar way we have ls, that is used in Linux. It is also an alias for get child item. So we can have multiple aliases for any commandlet. If you want, you can create your own aliases for any type of commands. The syntax, you have to use New-Alias. So I'm going to type a get directory. The value for this, I'm going to use the value as get child item. So what I'm doing is I'm creating my own alias for get child item, that is get directory, or we can even make it shorter, GDIR GDIR. So now if I type GDIR, it is going to execute get child item command, and it is going to run the get child item command for GDIR command. And whatever alias I have created here is not persistent, it is volatile, and it will be removed from the memory as soon as I close this PowerShell session. Same way we can search for the alias commands. For example, I want to see what is a for each command. Then I get to know that for each is a short form or alias for each object. So if you do not know the command functionality or the original name of the command, then you can try to use the get command, and you can use the alias name, or you can use the get alias command to find the real name of the commandlet, like I did here. Get alias, there is some alias we use percentage, so that is again for each object, and we use some alias a question mark that is used for where object. So these are some of the aliases that we use in PowerShell. So you might have seen this in some PowerShell scripts where they have a question mark and where they have a percentage sign. These are aliases for each and for where object commandlets. So that's it for today. I will conclude the session here, and I will see you in the next session. Thank you.